House podcast. Today we have a super duper special guest, Harmonie VACHON. For our listeners who don't know who Harmonie is, can you share a little bit about yourself and what you do here in Vancouver?
Absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming.
It's fun to be here. I am a digital content producer and I work for a tech company, but I also have a YouTube channel that I do for fun, and I do a lot of brand and design work on the side as well. So I'm basically a full-time creator or creative, and that manifests in a few different ways.
Yeah, awesome. So that's how I found you actually, was on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm subscribed to CNBC Make It.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that one of your very first videos?
No, I made that like around this time last year, and I'm a huge fan of that series as well. So I was like, I'd love to do a Vancouver version, and I kind of like borrowed their style. But yeah, I give them credit as well.
For those who are not subscribed to it, what is that channel all about?
Yeah, that channel, they have a series called Millennial Money, and it's basically breaking down how different people in their 20s, 30s are earning money, how they spend their money, how they're investing their money, and it really gets behind the scenes of people's financials, and kind of, I feel like it's a thing that most people aren't transparent about, but I find it so fascinating.
So, it's a totally cool channel. Your topic was living on 67 grand in Vancouver.
Yes, I actually need to make an updated version for this year, because this year, I'm happy to say, I actually had my first six-figure year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I hope that as I progress in my career, it will continue to go
That's
up.
Quite inspirational for
I'd be looking forward to the updated video. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys. I'm trying to wait until December so that I can get the exact number value, but it's looking like, I don't know, 110 or something. So
awesome.
I'm super stoked.
That's awesome. Well, you had 66,000 viewers on that particular episode. And that's what really intrigued me, because that's what made me follow you on your own channel.
Thank you.
So the reason why we're just so excited to have you on the show is because, as you're aware, we're both real estate agents, and real estate agents love making videos. We do? We do. You do videos all the time. We self-promote.
Yeah. For the people.
We self-promote. We do updates on market stats, property listings. But the number one struggle for most real estate agents is there's a lot of noise, a lot of distraction, because all we're outputting are videos of listings. And we're finding that, well, for me anyways, from my West One, is trying to gain followers and like committed people who will,
like a community
of viewers who will subscribe to our channel, who will watch the video from like start to finish. And how do you even capture that? So those are the type of questions that we're going to be touching base on today.
Absolutely.
So let's get to your channel. So describe what your channel is like on YouTube.
Okay, so my channel, honestly, because it's a hobby, I wish it was more in a particular niche than it is, but I kind of just have started making, I started maybe 3-4 years ago, just kind of making videos about whatever interested me, and that kind of ended up tending towards making videos about West Coast living. And that now has encompassed real estate, because I go through different neighborhoods in Vancouver, and I look at different homes and what you can get for certain amounts, like house tours and area kind of informational videos.
Let's make it clear, you're not licensed, right?
I am not licensed, but funny enough, when I came to the point of graduating university for marketing and business, I was working in sales for about a year, and I came to a crossroads. I'm like, okay, I'm going to specialize in something, and it's either going to be real estate or it's going to be, creative endeavors like video production and graphic design and things like that. And as you guys know, I didn't go for real estate, but it's still a personal interest of mine.
You're encompassing it a little bit with your videos and everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I found a way to work it in, because it is like an interest, but now I don't have to do it professionally, so it makes it a little more fun.
Yeah.
Your West Coast living topics, but you also cover products that are made in Vancouver, like local DIY projects.
Yeah, so I've basically tried to narrow my niche down. Basically, I just call it West Coast living and design. So I do make design-focused videos, but then I also do product reviews specifically for stuff that's like Vancouver related. So yeah, I make videos about whatever interests me, and in a lot of ways that is, financial topics, and that's real estate, and that's just things that interest me, but I try and tie it together through the theme of design and lifestyle.
That's so fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what I've noticed? You are always talking about what you want to talk about, like what interests you, versus most people try to...
What interests others.
What interests others, and then they try to pick topics or subjects or talk about that. So what is the proper channel?
Yeah, that's a
Which
good
way
question,
of
Jenny.
communication?
It depends on your goals. To be honest, my channel has grown so slowly because I haven't stuck with a niche, but if you do want to grow a channel, you will have much more success much faster if you are making similar videos about the same thing and just pummeling it into the ground.
Similar theme all the time and bringing it back to that theme all the time.
Yeah, exactly. For me, because it is a hobby, I do take liberties because it's about the creative process. It's about learning how to craft different types of narratives, different types of format. So the millennial money video that I did is much different than, let's say, a vlog, which is another type of creative challenge, or an educational video. So if you are a realtor or you have a brand at home and you're looking to grow your channel, I would definitely say pick your niche and then create content that's around that niche only. Don't do what I'm doing.
Well, it seems to be working for you though.
Yeah, thanks
Because
guys.
all your videos about properties in Kitsilano, in Fairview, they get a lot of hits. They're like 28,000, 30,000 viewers.
Yeah.
So so basically to organically gain more views is to make it as authentic as possible and niche it out.
Yes, and I wish it was that easy. What a lot of people don't realize is it doesn't actually initially have a lot to do with production value. It doesn't have a lot to do with that. You're actually trying to make videos that appease the algorithm.
Oh.
And so the reason you want to make videos in one particular niche, like let's say your thing is real estate, is because when the YouTube algorithm it basically wants people to watch and engage as long as possible. But if it can't define what you do and what your channel is, it has a harder time recommending you to new viewers. Because when somebody likes a particular genre of content, it wants to serve them more of that. So if one day I make a design video, but then next week I make a real estate video, it has a harder time placing me. But what it can do is pull up, let's say the real estate video in search for people like you guys who maybe were searching something related.
I have a question then. So
Yeah.
in regards to what you were saying there, so it has less to do then with when you're posting a video, for example, and you're using tag words or SEOs or anything like that. It's less of that and more of the actual YouTube algorithm itself?
Well,
Or is it both?
It's both, because the YouTube algorithm will use those keywords and phrases in your title and in the actual video that you're saying verbally. It will kind of take all of that and then try to place you.
Got it.
Yeah. So it does all matter.
I'm not a tech person. I had to ask that question.
No worries.
What makes a good video versus a great video?
Great question. I think it really depends on your niche, because that'll definitely change it a lot. But let's say for the person who's in real estate, or anyone really, I think the most important thing, first of all, is to make it with your target audience in mind. You're not making it for you. It's not about you. Like, a lot of people have a very arrogant and egotistical approach to the internet. They're like, hi, this is my day. Like, this is what I'm going to do today, as if people
So
will
funny.
care. Like, not to bash anyone else, because, like, I'm sure I have content like that as well. But if you're trying to make something that's adding value to somebody else, it's going to land and resonate a lot better. And also, they're probably searching for that topic or that content. And so the algorithm, on the other hand, has an opportunity to serve them what they're looking for, if that makes sense.
It does.
Relevancy, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you do that enough, people start to get to know you as a person and start to identify with your personality and those other things. And there's the opportunity for them to maybe become a fan and connect with your story. And that's when you can kind of start to open up more and share more about your own life, which is something I've only started doing recently, because I was always under the impression that if I talked about myself and my own life, people wouldn't care. So why should they?
Mm-hmm.
But recently I've learned, like after doing it for this long, now I'm at the point where people are invested, and so I can share a little bit more, and it resonates.
Do you often get, because you have that audience following you already, do you often get questions from them about your personal life? And do you find that that's why you're kind of sharing more of it, because they want to know more?
Somewhat, but I have pretty good boundaries on the internet. Like, I'm not out here to like I'll talk about my finances because I see that as being something different than like my internal struggles since childhood or you know, whatever else. But yeah, people do ask a ton of questions, and I'm always trying to engage in the comments, like whatever it is, like whether it's about, oh, I'm moving to Vancouver, and what do you think? I don't know, whatever questions that they have. And I really take a lot of time to try and engage with them and write paragraphs, and it's very time consuming. So if a topic comes up enough, I'll make a video about it because
Makes sense.
my audience is telling me that's what they want to know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally.
You are spending a lot of time on these videos.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like you're really passionate about it. What do you want to get out of it?
For me, it's about the creative process. Like, most people wouldn't decide to be like, what are you going to do this weekend? I'm going to spend like 6 to 12 hours in front of the computer. But, you know, if you don't like the process, you shouldn't get into video because it is very time consuming. And as time goes on, obviously it gets faster and you get better at it, and you kind of learn a format that works and you can kind of bang it out. But yeah, I think if you're going to do anything like that, you really have to like the process. Same with like Instagram. Like, I am not a fan of Instagram at all, but the people who I know that are big on Instagram or are like influencers, like the process of it, there's so much to it. Like, they spend so much time taking pictures and going out, different outfits, this and that. And so you have to know what you're getting into before you make the commitment to be like, I want to have a YouTube channel, or I want to show up online in this way, if that makes sense.
That's interesting.
Why
The
are you a
differentiation.
fan of Instagram?
For probably a year or two now, I see Instagram as more vanity metrics. Like, it is designed to take a lot of your attention. Like, now this is becoming more mainstream. There's a film out called The Social Dilemma that a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah.
But like last year, I actually read a book called Digital Minimalism by Newport, and it echoes a lot of the same things. And I've just never enjoyed the Instagram experience. I don't like picking up my phone to like, you know, check the time and end up wasting like an hour of my life scrolling infinitely. Like, to me, that's devastating, and it takes a lot of your creative energy. Yeah. It's hard to create output if you're always being stimulated by other input. That's
right. Oh, that's a good way to.
So do you feel like on YouTube it's more of an authentic experience for the view, like they're able to see you rather than just a picture of you in different outfits and those kinds of things?
Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. Think about the way you consume Instagram versus a video. When you're looking at Instagram, you have somebody's attention when they're scrolling for maybe a second, and then they've already forgotten about you. On YouTube, like, you have genuinely like 5 to sometimes 20 minutes of somebody's attention where they're watching and connecting with what you're saying. If that is your goal, I find that way more valuable than, you know, being a flash in the pan. But they both have their place in social media strategy, and I know this from just like my work and also from a lot of my friends who are also in the industry. So they both have their place, but I personally think that your time and your ROI is better on video.
So would you recommend, if it was for a real estate professional, because we have a lot of those people listening, would you recommend that their ROI would be better spent on a platform like YouTube rather than just posting something on Instagram or even on IGTV on Instagram?
Yeah, I think that honestly, Instagram does make sense for a real estate professional, because a big part of real estate and being a broker, I'm sure, is having to be top of mind, because it's like when people are like, oh, I need a real estate agent, it's like, who do you think of first?
Right.
But a good way to funnel those people into your online following on Instagram is through another avenue like YouTube. So if people find you online, then they can, I find it easier to convert YouTube following to Instagram versus I know other people who are main Instagrammers and they cannot convert people over to YouTube.
Interesting.
Because the relationship that you build on a platform like Instagram just isn't that deep.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
That is very interesting because as real estate professionals, and even this podcast,
Yeah.
we're finding we have to manage and reuse the videos and rewrap it a different way to fit the size of those.
Like with different wrapping paper, it's same gift but different wrapping paper.
Yeah.
So at what point do we need to say it's a stop? Like this is getting out of hand because it's time consuming. There's no ROI that we're seeing. Should we just be selective on which channels we should be producing on?
Yeah, I always think that instead of trying to go broad and be everywhere, you should go deep and pick like 1 or 2 channels that are the most relevant to your business and go in on those, because if you do build like a real connection or somebody starts looking up to you for your information or whatever, they are going to want to like follow you on the other things. Yeah.
That's a good tip. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What I'm noticing on TikTok, it's like
I don't go on TikTok.
Someone has a TikTok video and then they're like, to get more tips, follow my IG. And then on IG, they're like, follow me on blah, blah, blah. Like it's all interconnected at some point. Like afterwards, I'm following this person on
like just pick one.
I feel like I'm creeping them.
Yeah. It's good then. It's working.
I'll turn it
No, but you know what? I don't go on TikTok since we're talking about different mediums because I would just waste so much time. I don't have that. I know that they have interesting tips and things, but I've gone on one time and I was like, this is a rabbit hole for me. No, I'm not even going to open it.
What are your thoughts on TikTok?
Same. Like I've always been afraid to download it because I am so...
I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
It reminds me kind of like an Instagram, but maybe a bit more engaging in terms of being able to see someone's personality style.
Totally.
Unless they're just doing a dance.
Yeah, I like TikTok more than Instagram.
Do you?
I've learned so much on TikTok.
Oh, like for the tips,
phone hacks, how to do better graphics.
Okay, well,
that's awesome.
Yeah, how to fold my jeans. Oh my God,
Marie Kondo can teach you.
Learned how to fold my jeans in a drawer. So much more space.
That's
how
excellent.
to put a duvet in a duvet cover.
That one's actually a really good one. I didn't get it from TikTok.
Oh, that's the worst chore. But yeah, no, like don't get me wrong, I love TikTok. Like I will watch compilations like on YouTube, but I feel like the danger is sifting through trying to find the good stuff amongst everything else.
You can end up wasting a half an hour, which turns into an hour, which turns into 2.
Yes.
And then it's time to get out of bed.
Yeah. I have a question. Actually, I have a question. How do you see technology or social media transforming in the future? Or like, where do you think it's headed?
It is like we are in an attention economy, and I don't think people recognize that enough. Like every app, every service, every platform is fighting for your attention, and like their success metric is more of your life that you're giving to them. So in that way, it's somewhat depressing, though I feel that there has to and there will be a shift away from it at some point, because I feel like the way we're going right now isn't sustainable. Like it's become very disruptive in terms of like politics, like in terms of polarization. Maybe that's a bit too deep for this podcast.
No. Go ahead.
So I don't know. I hope that people are able to find a better life balance with it, because like I feel like I have a very healthy relationship with technology, very healthy boundaries. Like I'm on the internet, I have a presence, but like if you knew me in real life, like I'm never on my phone. I'm so present.
Interesting.
Yeah, like when I'm with people, like my phone is never even in sight. Like
I like that.
I know for millennial too.
Yes.
Yeah. And I delete, the only reason that I most of the time have Instagram on my phone is because I need it for work. But as soon as my work day is done, I delete it, because otherwise I mindlessly end up there.
Interesting.
And so if you have those kind of relationships and things that you do to like manage your TikTok usage and manage your Instagram and Snapchat, whatever you're into, I think it can be healthy, but not enough people make a conscious effort to make those choices.
Right. Yeah, there's a screen time app that shows you how much time you're spending on social media, but whether or not you actually listen to, like, turn it off as soon as the alarm goes off.
That's true. I saw mine pop up. It's like, 30% less than last week. I was like, that's good.
Nice. See, I know I'm weak. I need to, like, create the environment that will allow me to succeed, because I know, like, if it's up to me, like, when I'm weak, I'll just be like, okay, maybe I'll just look at it for 10 minutes. Yeah. 3 hours later.
Well, okay, speaking of your creative juices and what you do, what do you have something that is like, what's the most ridiculous or fun product or service that you've ever filmed?
I've actually cut out a ton of like my product review videos because like for a long time like companies were sending me like random things. Like there was a sock company, they sent me stuff and like they were paying me, so I'm like, who am I to like not take it? But like eventually there are so many opportunities coming in the door that it's just like not worth the like mental energy. So now I'm more selective. And
I'm curious to know how much they pay. Like how much do Instagram influencers get paid?
Oh, this is a whole curtain we could like pull.
Yes,
I have no idea though.
It really depends. Okay, I have a lot of my friends like are in the influencer space, or like I have a good handful, and it really depends on a few key factors. First of all, it depends on your niche as a human being. Like I have female influencers, which is a really saturated market here in Vancouver. They get paid nothing. Like they're
so it's just free swag.
Interesting.
Yeah, companies are trying to give them free stuff, and because there's so many people who are willing to say yes to that, it's just such a saturated market that they can't get paid. Now I have male influencer friends, because they're a male in Vancouver, in a particular age demographic, they're able to pull in sometimes $10,000 a post.
Wow.
Same following amount. The other main factor,
business.
yes, I know what you mean. I feel this way sometimes. The other main factor that like goes into what people get paid is basically whether you have an agent or not. Because if you go up to the top level of large scale corporations like Strongbow or like Maybelline or like whatever these huge companies are, they don't go direct to influencer. That's just not how they go. What they'll do is they will source out their influencer budget to an agency, and then the agency will go forward and gather all the influencers on basically a team. So if you're signed, you're more likely to get those kind of like sellout contracts where you're going to be making like 10 grand a post. And it's just a matter of like, are you unique enough in the space to get representation?
Wow. So they'll find you though.
Yeah, I'm not an influencer. I don't consider myself one. I'm not really interested of being in the space to be like, hi, buy this stuff you don't need necessarily if it doesn't align with like what I'm up to. I did like recently get a cool sponsorship with Skillshare though. I'm stoked on that because like it's actually like a learning platform where you can do a bunch of like creative tutorials, and I've been loving it personally. But like,
so you're demonstrating it on YouTube?
Yeah, well, I can make I can make content about whatever, and it's just like an ad placement in there. So I'll be like, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. And I guess they're getting free sponsorship now. Thanks, Skillshare.
Thanks for sponsoring our podcast.
Yes. Thanks.
We are looking for sponsors, so this is actually very good information for us because we want to try to get sponsors for our podcast as well.
That's interesting. I'm not sure about the podcast space, but I would imagine it's similar. So like once you have an established number of downloads per month, you would probably be best off going the agency route because they're going to be working with those large scale contracts with the large scale companies. And a final thing that I'll say on that is the larger companies, like the huge organizations, they actually do care about Instagram quite a bit because they actually don't care about the return on investment. They just want to be top of mind. And I know this because I have a lot of like digital strategist friends who work at that level, and we all connect and talk about these things.
It's a whole nother world for
There's
me.
a lot to it.
For sure.
When I'm listening to I'm listening to all of this. This is insane. I really don't know that much about it.
I don't realize that I do until we start talking about it. But even me, like, there's so much more behind the curtain, you know?
I'm curious because you're not an influencer, but you have a handful of friends that are influencer. Does it drive you nuts that they're always taking selfies or self-promoting? And like, does it affect your relationship with them?
No, because the difference is the people that I naturally gravitate towards, they're similar to me. Like, they all have very healthy boundaries with technology as well. Like, they can be an influencer, but they're not the person at the party who's like, oh my God, you know, like live streaming. Like, there are influencers in town who I've like crossed paths with that are like that, but they're not the person who I'm like drawn to connect with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I really hate, like, I've been to a couple of these like PR events where like all the influencers are and like brands will do all this stuff, and I hate them. I hate them so much.
This reminds me, this is off topic though. Have you seen Emily in Paris? It's on Netflix.
No.
She becomes an influencer and she's at this party. And then it's a parody kind of on all these influencers taking selfies of themselves and not caring about anyone around them. It was just really funny. And when you said that, it reminded me of it.
Oh my God, that's too real.
Yeah, it's very, I would imagine it's very real.
Yeah.
If I could ask a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Related to the videos that you make and also the Vancouver real estate rental market.
Oh, yes.
I'm just wondering, so we have a lot of friends, family, and some clients as well that have recently, they're either renting and then they get into home ownership, but their experience has been similar, such that they're competing against other renters for the same unit, just because of the shortage of rental units or the cost even associated with renting a home in Vancouver. So do you have any advice for renters that are competing against other renters for the same unit or space or house?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say now is the time. Like, the rental market has gone down considerably since COVID because I feel like there's been like a mass exodus. Like, a lot of people are leaving the city because of lost jobs. It's too expensive. So timing is important. But yeah, when it comes to like being competitive, like generally, let's say the times are good and there is a lot of competition, you just really have to sell yourself. Like, think of it like a job interview. Like, come prepared, like have your ducks in a row, like, you know, come with all of your paperwork like the day you're looking at the space, because it is competitive. So you want to get in there.
Definitely
and
ducks in a row if you did that.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
very prepared.
You have to, because I remember like when I first moved here, like it was tough and I was like sick of getting turned down, and I was like, all right, next one, I'm going in strong. And it worked.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. If someone is new to creating a digital marketing campaign for themselves, what are some elements that they need to have or essentials that they need to have to get started? Like branding first, or is it
Content first?
content first? Like, how does that?
Digital marketing. It depends. Like, what industry are they in?
They're in real estate. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for realtors, I think that, again, it comes down to visibility and being top of mind. So if you are able to have somewhat of a presence on Instagram, like if you're posting regularly, posting stories, higher quality content, like you don't have to do it daily, because I think that's a bit much. But if you're doing a couple times a week, great. And then if you're able to like get on YouTube or maybe another platform of your choice, like maybe it's TikTok, start there and just start targeting who your ideal audience is. And YouTube is a wild sales funnel. Like, I've gotten so many clients through YouTube, like for my design work, and like same goes for real estate. Like, if you're showing up when people are searching, where should I buy a home in Vancouver, and they find your video and you're a real estate agent, guess who they're going to call? They're going to be like, I need your help. Now, with that said, it is hard to get started in the space because you're trying to appease the algorithm and you're starting off from square one because the algorithm doesn't know anything about you. You don't have any credibility with keywords, so it's not going to place your content. I've done partnerships with like realtors before, and like they have posted my exact video that I posted on my channel, same keywords, same title, everything verbatim, and theirs will get like 16 views and mine will get like 16,000.
Interesting.
So yeah, to like kind of bridge that, one thing you can do is like perhaps collaborate with somebody who is in your niche as well, like myself or like whoever else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then they can funnel their audience to you, and that could be a way
It's
around
mutually beneficial, probably.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's kind of a one
Good
hack.
tip.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just like you got to keep at it, be consistent, so that the algorithm kind of like gets to know you, your content, and they can place you for relevance.
So algorithm would be using like hashtags. There's no hashtags in YouTube, is there?
No, there is.
Yeah,
That's why
there
I
is.
was asked. I'm not good with technology, but I had asked the question about if YouTube recognizes kind of like what you're saying verbally, or if you actually have to placement of hashtags and things on the back end.
Yeah, it's like meta tags, but also
Yeah.
it does track what you say verbally.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's so smart.
Yeah.
It's so smart. AI.
Exactly, because they have like the closed caption feature, so it'll automatically caption things. So in that, they can pull the language and pull out keywords as well, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the future
That's
is now.
scary.
I actually, I was debating on whether or not I filmed a bunch of videos. I was debating on putting them up on YouTube, partly because I don't know how to use YouTube. I mean, I've watched videos on YouTube before, but I don't know how to upload them and place the tags. And what had happened was I just wasn't sure. One, because it's a new platform for me, and two, because I filmed a how to sell your home series.
That's a good idea.
Great series for people, but I did it after I just had a new baby, my daughter Stevie, and I filmed it because she wouldn't calm down. I had her in the office with me, and I filmed it while she was on me the whole time. and I didn't know how that would be received. Do you know what I mean? Like talking about real estate and catering to sellers, but then having my infant child on me at the same time.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure. And I wasn't sure about the platform.
It's tough because, like, I don't know. I think that you could go one of two ways. Like, you could be palatable to the majority audience, or you can be perfect for a smaller niche. And generally, you're more successful, actually, if you cater to a smaller niche and you're, like, perfect for them. So, like, maybe that's other young families and people who relate to what you're going through. But I understand the challenge of being professional on the platform and showing up in a particular way.
Yeah. But they're filmed, so maybe I'll just put them up on YouTube anyways.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you have nothing to lose.
No.
I kind of find it hard to be able to convert a viewer into an actual client because what you're producing are videos, and so whatever they're watching is actually the product that you were producing. And so if they like what they see, they're already sold. Versus we're selling ourselves and self-promoting in the video. On top of that, they have to meet us to like us, and then
It's not. I'm not finding that right now. So we've been filming IGTV videos, but those we try and film content. Like Warren's done most of the recent ones, my business partner recently, because I've been busy with family, and we've been getting a lot of leads and conversions from it.
that's great.
Yeah.
But I think it's because, and we're trying to. It's kind of what you said, Jenny, about making content or videos for what you think people will want to be interested in versus what's interesting to you, and maybe even bridging the gap. Like how we based it actually on a lot of client questions. So some of the videos that we've done recently are centered around what people are looking for anyhow, and it's not actually about us at all. We're just the person giving the message to the knowledge that we have.
That's a great strategy.
So we're trying. I'm seeing it working now. So
Well,
we'll get back to you on that.
together.
I know, it's true.
So she
It's true.
did one. She did one, and I was like, "Oh my god, what a great video! Let's start a podcast together." Kind of worked on me.
I feel I got a lot out of it too. Okay, but yeah, that was funny. See, it does work.
It does work.
There's
I guess.
conversion.
I guess because we're not doing those videos for my team. We're just doing more like property
You guys could
listings.
start though.
Yeah, we should.
You will
But
start.
there's just too many projects at the moment.
Okay.
We're doing.
I
What kind of hardware, equipment, or tools and gadgets should someone invest in, or should they even hire like a third party and not even bother with any of that at all?
This is tough. It's hard to say because I'm trying to think of it through the lens of a real estate agent. In terms of gear, I'm going to be honest, like the new iPhones are actually quite incredible in what they can capture compared to what it used to be. Like I used to carry around a DSLR everywhere. It's big, it's heavy, it films wonderful footage. But at the same time, now I realize that the best camera is the one you have with you. My phone's always with me, so I'm able to capture, whatever's happening in that moment. That's very helpful. But if you are going to start doing a series or, take that approach where it's like a team endeavor, I think that it is worthwhile to buy the right gear, at least like intro level gear, and maybe hire someone. It depends on budget, like how much you want to put into that. So it really depends on those variables.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I have
Makes
a feeling
sense.
like you guys are very busy and you're not about to start filming, editing, and
So that's one of the things that we've encountered. And when we have a lag filming the videos, it's generally because we don't have time to edit them because we're actually selling real estate. Like the videos we just make for people because it's fun to give them great information and we hope it can be helpful. It's kind of like you with your hobby on like, I like, it's for the creative process, but you're filming those videos anyhow, right?
Totally.
But.
And it is a slow go. Like I have a friend who's in the industry in real estate, and he's doing the same thing for another brokerage. And I'm actually going to be filming with him and Engel and Boker on Friday, and we're doing a collaboration for a $10 million Kitsilano property. And so they're collaborating with me for that reason because they've had a team and they hired on a guy to do this regularly. And I feel bad because they're putting so much energy, time, and budget into this, and again, like not getting the views. They're getting like 15. 30, maybe 100. So hopefully I'll be able to help them with that in that collaboration.
So are you in the video or are you just help? Oh, you're in the video. So you're going to be posting it on your feed.
Yeah, my channel as well. And then hopefully, generate some of my traffic who is like relevant and interested in the same thing over to theirs.
So you're a YouTube influencer for that property listing. Essentially, that's what they're hiring you for.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
and it's a personal friend of mine, like one of my best friends. So I'm happy to do it. And we haven't worked together on a creative like YouTube project yet, so I think it'll be fun.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
What are some ways, if someone doesn't like to be on camera, what are some ways for someone to be comfortable, to get comfortable?
Oh yeah, this is a good question. I think like one of the first things you can do is make sure you're shooting or producing with people that you're comfortable with around. So, you know, keeping a small team, like maybe you and one other person, or like maybe that's you and a tripod. Maybe that means that you're going to have to spend a little bit more time kind of like talking out loud to yourself to get used to the idea, because it can feel fumbly and awkward in the beginning for sure. But then eventually you kind of get into like a riff with it, and you almost feel like you're having a conversation with somebody else, but it's literally just your internal dialogue coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
How would you recommend someone find like a profitable niche for social media nowadays in 2020?
Well, first of all, I would say make sure it's something you have experience with and passion about, because to be successful on social media with anything, you have to be pretty consistent and dedicated. And if you're following a niche just for the hope of getting followers, but you actually hate it,
it's not going to work.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy that process either. So find something that's maybe relevant to your career. Like if you are a real estate agent, maybe start there and think of all of the relevant topics around that one thing that another person might be interested or that you can add value in. So start with a brainstorm, and then once you have some concepts, start actually scripting those out with bullet points. Like step 1, here's what you want to do if you're buying a house in Vancouver in 2020. And that's very specific.
Right.
So that's a good way to niche down.
Good tip.
Yeah, those are really like, so you're really good at captioning and writing titles and everything like that too.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you say that's a huge part of capturing someone's attention, like immediately to click on your video?
Yeah, I think content is really important, and the more of those kind of keywords and things, like more of the structure that you're talking about, if you can include that in the description, people know what they're getting into, they're more likely to click. Scripting is very important, and I do that for my full-time work, like with the tech company I work at as well. You don't have to script verbatim, but make sure you have like points that you're going to talk about, or else you end up meandering for like 12 minutes and you're going to lose the person's attention like that.
Okay.
So
yeah,
right.
My question was, what do we have to look forward for Harmonie for you? Like, what are you kind of looking forward to out of life?
Out of life?
Yeah.
It's a great question.
And I guess your work too, because that was the reason why we had you on the podcast today.
Personally, I'm excited because my partner and I'm really looking to buy an income property on the Sunshine Coast.
Very exciting.
Yes, I'm stoked on that. Also relevant to real estate. Now we get to go and do house hunting over there. More content, fun. And professionally, like, I'm really happy with the company I'm with. Like, we were just acquired, but our team has all stayed the same. Leadership is the same. And I'm actually up for my 2 years there this week.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
And 6 figures.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
And hopefully going up from there.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Let's do 10
rapid fire
questions.
Oh, yeah.
What do you appreciate the most about Vancouver?
Oh, I just love the lifestyle here, obviously. I made a whole channel about it. But in a lot of ways, again, I fell into that niche because of like the algorithm. But I really do love living here. And I spend a lot of time outside. I spend a lot of time in nature, and it keeps me sane, honestly.
That's good.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that the crisis has taught you about yourself?
It taught me how appreciative I am of like what I have. Like the people I have around me, the career I have, the hobbies I have. I'm grateful for all of that because, yeah, nothing in life is certain.
Totally.
It's been a really weird year in so many ways.
It's been very interesting.
Did you meet your boyfriend here, or?
Yeah, I actually met him in design school at Vancouver Film School.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in the same program. He's a UX UI designer at a tech company as well.
You may have already answered this, but what's your favorite topic to film?
That's a good
Or make
question.
videos on, and why?
I actually really like the videos that capture a moment in time for me, like more vlog style. Yeah, I think those are more important because there are maybe a handful of videos. I don't make them very often. I'm trying to make them more that I actually like look back at and like it just reminds you of what that year was, what that experience was. And like, I feel like that's so invaluable to have as you get older. Like, I still like watch back some of them, and like it brings me to tears. So I'm like, oh my god, that was so nice. Like my ex-boyfriend, or like whatever. My ex-boyfriend is still one of my best friends though. So
Okay,
that's nice.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, hopefully your boyfriend.
If you don't want to remember, it's not okay.
No, we're cool. We're all best friends. It's great.
What would you want to be famous for on YouTube?
Oh god, I don't really want to be famous, but
Yeah, that's good.
yeah,
Answer.
I do. I will say though, I do appreciate being seen, as a thought leader on particular topics. Like, it's definitely fun to have these conversations with other intelligent people, or people who are moving and shaking and doing things in industry. That I find so fun. I love connecting with other creative folks, other, people who are just doing exciting things.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Optimistic, creative, and easygoing.
What kind of student were you in high school?
I was actually a good student in high school. It was more so university where I stopped caring, because like I always got good grades, but in university I realized we're all in it for the same piece of paper, and no matter how hard or little you try, we all have the same outcome, like with a business marketing degree.
And you're still going to get this piece of paper.
Yeah, so that's where my priorities shifted a bit. But high school doesn't really matter in the grand scheme, but it does help that it's like a very social environment. Like, you learn a lot there.
It's okay. When I was in high school, I didn't think it was important either.
Yeah, it's kind of not.
What's to wrap this up, one final tip you have for real estate professionals who want to incorporate YouTube into their social media?
I would say, like I said kind of earlier, I would say pick your platforms, 1, maybe 2 tops, and try to go deep in those platforms. Don't try to spread yourself thin and be present everywhere, because ultimately you're just going to water yourself down and not really be showing up anywhere. Figure out your strengths and like what platform best aligns with your strengths. If that's Instagram and you want to do shorter form content in video, then do that. Like, if you can be consistent on, TikTok and do your thing over there giving tips, like, for sure do it. And yeah, that's what I would say about that.
What's like the ideal length of video time?
You definitely, it actually kind of changed. Maybe not a lot of people know this, but like, you definitely want to have content that's over 8 minutes long. It used to be 10 minutes up until maybe a couple of months ago, because that is the cutoff for when YouTube can put more ads on your video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know this, though? Just from doing it all the time? Or is there...
I know a lot about the analytical side of
That's
it.
crazy.
I track these things like very closely.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So do you have to have like a professional account to go on the back end to look at your own stats? How
No.
does YouTube
Just
work?
through Google, right?
Yeah, if you're just on your YouTube interface, what you would want to do is go up to the top right-hand side, and you're able to like go to a little drop down that says My Channel, and from there you can see all of your analytics, and you can look at watch time, you can look at views, you can look at retention. Retention is very important in your content getting ranked, because if somebody like opens your video, watches 2 seconds and turns it off, YouTube says, this isn't interesting to people. So the longer you can hold somebody there, the better off you are in the future.
I'm just thinking. You know, it's strange, though, because we do have a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
We've only posted maybe 3 videos.
Mhm.
I got an email from YouTube. It was from something saying, congratulations, you hit 1,000 views for, I guess it was a few of the videos combined.
Oh, nice.
But it's weird because you had said even when you're doing the partnership with Anglo and Volkers, right? They didn't get as many views for the first video that they had done, and that's when you guys are kind of partnering together in order to get them more exposure for that property. But I'm wondering how we got the 100 views on the one video.
Like your
1,000 views?
No, it was 1,000 views total, but it was 100 right away.
sometimes you just get lucky.
I was so lucky. I didn't do anything specific.
Some of like my first videos that really got me into YouTube were just lucky. Like whatever it was, the algorithm picked it up and it started getting.
And even then, I was like, oh my god, it's only like 113 like when it happened.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not that bad.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. Stick at it.
Where can our viewers and listeners find you?
Yeah, great question. You can find me on YouTube, my name is Harmonie VACHON, but it's spelled kind of weird. It's with an IE at the end of Harmony. And you could also follow me on, I guess, Instagram.
You don't go on very often though, right?
I don't. I try to post every like once in a blue moon. but yeah, if you're interested in reaching out, you could also just email me at harmonievachon@gmail.com.
I tried to find you on YouTube, but I couldn't find your email.
Oh, darn. It's under the contact information, but maybe I'll try to make it more visible for you guys.
And we'll post the proper spelling then of your handle so that they know
Totally.
how to find you.
Yeah. And if anybody like wants help, like if you guys ever want help or to collaborate, like let me know.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Would that go through your tech company, or is this like freelancing?
Oh, just freelance. I do a lot of freelance as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
That sounds
awesome.
fun.
That would be
Well,
fun.
there you go.
Yeah.
We gained a new partner.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
excited now.
Business.
Okay,
Awesome.
well, thank you so much for coming on our
Yeah.
podcast today. I learned a lot.
Thanks, Harmony. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope I wasn't too meandering. If I was, you can cut it in post, make it digestible.
No, you're great.
Thanks.
This is fantastic information for our listeners. Absolutely. Thank you so much,
much.
Harmony.
Yeah, no worries.